What is he doing with my puppy? He's taking my puppy. He's taking the puppy! Hi, I'm Tanic Sims 2, but you can call me Tanny, and today we are playing the first of quite a few pleasant families of Pleasantview. If you're new here, don't worry, this is the first video about this family, though you can skip to this timestamp in the intro video to learn more about Eve and her backstory, but I will also give a recap in this introduction. It's also not necessary to watch the previous installment where we met the De La Rosa family, but it might give you a general idea of my playstyle and what to expect from this series. So this house should be quite familiar. It's the old Pleasant house, slightly renovated. I'm not a builder, so I give you permission to make fun of my decorating. Actually, no, don't. I'll cry. So this is Eve. She's kind of morphed into the sofa. She is the third and youngest daughter of Daniel and Mary Sue Pleasant. She's gone over here now. She's gone over here. Okay. Thanks to the scripted chance card, Mary Sue was fired. However, she didn't catch Daniel and maid Kaylin Langerak in time. Like, she didn't arrive home in time. So Eve was the result of Daniel and Mary Sue, I guess, kind of rekindling their marriage once the twins were at uni. But then on Daniel's birthday party, so at Daniel's birthday party when he became an elder, he was caught cheating. Eve was just a toddler at the time, and so Mary Sue, she had enough, and she raised Eve as a single mother while working in the journalism career. She had a new job. Yeah, Eve can go to work now. Suzy will go to school, and the nanny is here to take care of the toddlers. So Mary Sue got a new job in the journalism career, and she raised Eve by herself, and she was also working on novels. She went back into pottery, because it stated in her bio, even though she's a music and dance sim, in her bio it mentioned she likes pottery. There's very broke. And as a result of being raised by a working mother, Eve actually is very close with the nanny. They're best friends forever. And then Mary Sue passed when Eve was a teen. She was actually my first original Pleasantview adult to go. So Eve was left the house and the fortune from her mother, and then when Daniel died, she inherited a chunk of his fortune. He had a lot of money as well from his career. Eve didn't go to uni, she didn't want to, and then as an adult she fell in love with a childhood friend, Morty Lothario, and they got married, and yeah, you can see Suzy is the result of their marriage, and he's just sent some money for child support. So she moved into the Lothario mansion. I even gave them a honeymoon. Like, I don't just let anyone have a honeymoon. You know, they've got to have the right, like, they've got to be able to afford it, and they both have to want it, and they both did, and they're rich, so they had a honeymoon. But just days into their marriage, however, Eve arrived home early because much like her mother, she got a chance card, only this was a successful one. So she came home, she got promoted, and she caught Morty with another woman. Does she look familiar? So technically Morty was actually with Brandy first. One day in the last few days of her life, while her youngest child Darcy was at uni, Brandy invited Morty over completely autonomously for some purple hearting, shall we say. And then he got with Eve, so I kind of thought Morty would commit to Eve, because he's a family sim. I could imagine him calling it off with Brandy. Maybe they were just a bit of fun. You know, he kept deciding to keep on purple hearting Brandy. Even when married to Eve. Their marriage didn't last long. and Eve moved back into her childhood home and returned to her maiden name. But over their honeymoon, Eve fell pregnant. Morty wanted a baby. To put into perspective how short their marriage was, Eve was not even showing when she caught Morty with Brandy, who then proceeded to Purple Heart with Brandy in the hot tub with Eve right there after being caught cheating. And that was the action that made me realise, wow, Morty's pretty sucky. Eve, I give you permission to divorce him. But yeah, she gave birth to a daughter, Suzy, named after Mary Sue. We're still kind of getting to know her dad. Yeah, they don't really have a relationship, which is surprising. I thought he'd be more enthusiastic because he's a family sim, but I don't know, out of all the Lothario kids, I thought Morty would be the least likely to follow in Don's footsteps because he's extremely shy. He's one point shy. After the heartbreak Eve went through, she reignited her relationship with her teenage boyfriend David Dreamer, who Alanis Morissette definition of ironically is of course Brandy's son with Darren Dreamer. And I think I forgot to put her on birth control with ACR after her marriage, so of course the inevitable happened. You're looking at him. Of course she also had to have twins. So yeah, history's almost repeated itself. So I think the main thing to expect from this family is a struggle. A lot of struggling. Not on Eve's part, I mean. Eve's a fantastic mother. But yeah, just while Eve and Suzy are out, let's go through the family tree now. It's a lot bigger than the Della Rosas and a lot more interconnected with the whole hood. It's sort of spread everywhere and it features a lot of familiar and iconic faces. Yeah, of course we have Eve, and she is the daughter of Mary Sue and Daniel. She has two older sisters, Angela and Lilith, and she has a half brother on her father's side who is the son of Kaylin. He has some twins of his own with Melody Tinker. So a lot of twins in this family. Suzy is a pretty big example of like a legacy character if we use like soap opera terms, which I like doing for my Pleasantview. Suzy is like the definition of a legacy character. So her grandparents are Mary Sue and Daniel Pleasant, and on her father's side Cassandra and Don, and then of course then that means her great grandparents would be Mortimer Goth and Bella Goth. So it's really going to be interesting to see where her story goes, considering her family, who she's not really that close with. She doesn't really know Morty very well, but the way that Eve and Morty are slowly sort of forgiving each other, I think they could maybe reunite, but we'll see what happens. And then of course there's the younger twins, who are also legacy characters because their grandparents would be also Mary Sue and Daniel, and also Brandy and Darren. So they're all quite linked to the original Sims of Pleasantview, despite, you know, being totally new to everyone. Let's learn about Eve. She's a popularity sim because she is a Leo, I think. Yeah, she's a Leo, so she's a popularity sim in the aspiration zodiac system. Her lifetime want is to become celebrity chef because she's a cuisine sim and she's on her way. She's level 6 in the food career. She's a prep cook. And her secondary aspiration is knowledge, yeah. Okay, so that's according to her interests. Yeah, I had to lock the bin because, of course, when she caught Morty cheating, that makes them furious with one another. Morty would come over like every day and kick it over, so I had to lock it. She's so close with the nanny, who looks like she's in her swimwear. I feel like she's just gone into the pool. 20 minor. She's so happy. Anyway, yeah. Her bio reads, the youngest of 3 daughters. Eve finds it ironic that her namesake was the first woman. So I kind of wanted to stay with that theme, you know, like Angela and Lilith, and I chose Eve. Hey Suzy, is Eve available to talk? This is the thing with popularity sims. They're too popular. Can't relate. She likes being in the kitchen, experimenting with food, and complains that restaurants just aren't authentic enough. Her dream is to be the first chef in space. I think I mirrored that. I think Daniel Pleasant, her father, has something in his bio to do with going into space. I think that's what I was trying to like mirror. Oh? I missed it. I was trying to give them privacy, and I ended up missing Mark getting potty trained. That's Selena Shu. She's the daughter of Tessa Ramirez and a townie Hun Shu. So 6 and she's outgoing, which works because she's of course a popularity sim. She's on the lazy side. She's on the serious side as well, kind of going into the middle, just leaning to the nice side. So she likes culture, food, fashion, work, paranormal, weather. And of course her hobby is cuisine. So while she talks with her first cousin Kyla, I'm going to introduce you to Suzy. Suzy is a public school student. She has a name minus. She is a Pisces. She will be a knowledge sim when she ages up to a teenager, which will be this round because she is a teenager now in 4 days. So she's on the neat side like her mother. She's very shy. She's inherited that from her father, but very active. I guess she's demonstrating that right now. She's on the serious side and she's on the nice side as well. And she actually doesn't have a bio yet. I thought it would be kind of cool if maybe we sort of came up with stuff together. I don't know though, like, would that be like cool or not? We can sort of like learn about her together. When they're kids or younger, I don't really know that way yet to write a full bio. It kind of develops as they grow older, and I was thinking, you know, as we play through the family, maybe we can sort of discover things to put in the bios, if that makes sense. You know, make it a team effort. Her interests are entertainment, sports, animals, really interested in animals. My Sims are barely ever interested in animals, but she has a very high interest in animals, so that could be interesting. We could definitely adopt an animal if they roll the wants to do that. She's interested in school, which is great because then that works for her being a knowledge sim, and also a really high interest in toys, which explains why her one true hobby is tinkering. It's also probably because she's very shy as well. I don't really know where to go with her tinkering hobby. I don't know if she'd be like a tinkerer. Do you know what I mean? Like an appliance tinkerer, or maybe a trained sort of person. And then Mark, I don't know which twin is the older one. Okay, Suzy remembers Mark joining first. So Mark is the older twin. Mark is an Aries, which means he will be a popularity sim, just like his mum. He's very neat, and he's very outgoing, and he's sort of in the middle between lazy and active. He's just on the playful side, and he's on the nice side as well. Sports, paranormal, school, and sci-fi. He is a science sim. I'm not even sure where to go. I think he'll be like a space science kind of guy. Telescopes and stuff. And then little Mary, also named after Mary Sue. I got a little unoriginal. I named both her daughters after Mary Sue. She had that profound of an impact in her life, I think. Let's go with that. Mary's also an Aries, which is amazing. Like, twins, they have the same zodiac sign. If you don't play The Sims 2, then that must be like really like, well, yeah, of course they do. So she's just on the neat side, she's on the outgoing side, she's on the lazy side, on the serious side, and she's on the nice side as well. And her interests, paranormal and animals. So she's like Suzy, she has a high interest in animals, which could definitely mean they could get a little pet if they want one. That would be cool. And she is a music and dance sim. It's kind of already been the end of the first introductory day, so their rounds start on... Oh, that's really cute. So their rounds start on a Wednesday. I've sort of decided I'll sort of dedicate the first day of play to introducing them, and then in the second day of play we'll do things. will actually play. Age check, Eve is 15 days to elder, Suzy is 4 days to teenager, and Mark and Mary are 2 days to child. So we have 2 birthdays. Well, 3. It'll be 2 birthday parties. I mean, Susie's very shy, so she might roll the fear to, you know, she might not want the party. So we might do something quiet for Susie, maybe go out to eat or something, I don't know, cook something that she loves, I'm not sure. There'll be quite a few birthdays in this household. So that could be interesting. I'm just going to have them take care of all their needs and call it a day, and then tomorrow we'll actually just, you know, play normally. Okay, so it's Thursday, it's day 2, and it will be the first official day of play, I guess, where I focus on what the Sims want to do, and also I let my Sims, you know, have some autonomy, well, a lot of autonomy, to see what they choose to do and see what they want to do. That's sort of my gameplay style, just in case you haven't seen other installments of this series yet. It's very based on what the Sims want. So Suzy has woken up and she wants to do her homework because she wants an A+ report card. We can definitely do that. I went down to Eve and she just had a dream, like, thought bubble with Morty's face in it, and just it was crossed out. She has a very complicated relationship with Morty, that's for sure. I always read or hear about these, like, nanny horror stories, but in my experience, I don't know if I'm just really lucky, or maybe I just always get the good nanny. Like, I know there are some good ones, there are some not so good ones. I think Calista Desperate is a very good nanny. She's attentive, and let's give Mary some privacy. She doesn't burn the house down for me. That hasn't happened yet, but I see with everyone else they have, like, the worst nannies. Like, specifically sent to, like, ruin their game. The minute Mark wakes up, Callista's already, like, there. Oh, the twins just received 200 each from their father, David Dreamer, who they don't know, like, at all. Like, they've never met him. Could be interesting. He's a real bachelor. He's literally in my household 4 bachelors named bachelors. So I would kind of go with, like, the storyline, like, oh, David just doesn't know they exist, but he sends child support, so I guess he does. And he doesn't have, they don't have much money in the bachelor's apartment. Money must be dwindling thanks to David. I just knew the minute I started, like, singing her praises and, like, saying, like, she's a really good nanny, she's really attentive. Oh, Lilith is walking by. This is, of course, her childhood home. Oh, Suzy is now one of the top students in school. Oh, so she did it. She fulfilled her one. My heart just stopped. I only saw this guy's face. I didn't read Eve has brought a friend home from work today. I just read Suzy. So I was like, Suzy has brought a friend home from school today. This adult man. False alarm. She didn't bring a fully grown adult man home from school. Cool. I was just taking photos for the thumbnail, and I said something like, hold on, I need to take some shots. And I meant, like, you know, take some screenshots, but I mean, she got an A+ report card. So we're celebrating, so why not? No. I'm about to Infodump. I'm really sorry, but what I really like about Suzy, Mark and Mary look very much like their father, especially Mary. She is identical to her father. It's like you can't see any of Eve in her. Mark looks a bit more like a merge between, I can sort of see Eve in his, like, mouth area. Lift his head up. Yeah. An eye area as well. And why I'm pointing this out is because this is giving me like, is Mole 2 available to talk vibes? She wants a puppy or a kitten. Wait, hold on. No, I'm gonna finish what I was saying, okay? So what I like is that basically Mary Sue's genetics, they kind of don't exist. Not in like a way where like she doesn't have any. I mean, in Pleasantview, they don't exist. You know, she was adopted by the oldies, so she doesn't have genes from them. If you look at these beta images, you'll see a very different looking Mary Sue, and that is actually the genetic mother of Angela and Lilith. That's why Angela and Lilith look absolutely nothing like Mary Sue. They look like this like old version of Mary Sue. So Mary Sue's genetics just sort of aren't there. So giving her like a third child, oh gosh, oh too much is going on. This is why I have to pause it and talk, because oh no, is that why she's brushing her teeth? So basically she's like the only genetic link to Mary Sue. I'm really glad that she sort of passed down quite a lot of her features that she got from Mary Sue, because it means that Mary Sue's actual genetics are now in the hood. And yeah, that's all. They're rich. She has a high interest in animals, and so does Mary. She wants to get either a puppy or a kitten. And I think because she just got an A+ report card, she's doing really well in school, we should get her a kitten or a puppy. He's really persistent.
Cosa va la bonne.
She's receptive. But yeah, I cannot make a decision with anything. I'm a librarian. I'm a Libra. And especially when it comes to things like animals. I can't decide which one. I really wish she had a more specific one. Just, you know, get a kitten or get a puppy. I really wish. But I have to decide. I think I'll just check like what's available. See, you know, because I might have adopted all the kittens. I don't know. So I'll just have a look. But we can definitely do that for Suzy. So tomorrow, Friday, will be Mark and Mary's birthday party. They will become children. Just so this video doesn't get like super long, and I know that it's going to be really stressful having a party for them, so I'd like to dedicate its own episode to a birthday party, or maybe even birthday parties. I think Suzy will also probably age up in that time as well, so that will be the next episode. Shower is broken. Great. She's got on the phone and she's immediately thought of her daughter Suzy, probably because she's like, what should we surprise her with? Okay, so we don't have any large dog puppies, but we have a small dog puppy and a kitten. Let me look at their stats and sort of decide. They're both pig pens, which probably isn't ideal because they're quite a neat family. I can't remember if Suzy's quite active or not. I don't think she is, but very active. I guess she's demonstrating that right now. But Scout is quite lazy, and yeah, I know Eve is on the lazier side, so I think for their, you know, their family dynamic, I think a lazy puppy would work, I guess. I'm gonna go with Scout. I don't know if I'll rename him. I don't really have a good name in mind. Yes. Nope, the dog's here. I love how they come in a police car. Why is this random townie being the first guy? Have we got a Craig 2.0? A Craig 2.0? No, he's the even stronger form. Clarence. Eve gets the first one. It's not this random guy who I thought was coming home with Suzy and flirts with Eve
Oh,
in the bathroom. I mean, that's just kind of a standard Sims 2 experience. Suzy's very happy and she wants to be friends with Scout. Scout's already thinking of Mary. That's so cute. Oh. Look at that face. Aww. The final hours of Thursday, day 2. Eve is an elder in 14 days. Suzy is a teenager in 3 days, so it might not actually be next episode that she ages up. She might have her own separate episode where she has her birthday. But the twins, Mark and Mary, their birthday party will be in the next episode. It's tomorrow. I mean, maybe Suzy's might be squeezed in at the end. I just don't know how big their birthday will be. It's just they have a lot of family and they're both very outgoing, so they wouldn't mind a birthday party. It's also a good excuse to get them meeting people like David and any like other members of the family that they should realistically know. I don't know, I want her to like decide who she wants. Because there's David and there's Morty, and Morty's already broken her heart. Oh. They are not wasting any time. Suzy's just come in like, can you read me a bedtime story? Wait, is the sink broken as well? Oh no. Okay, I'll have to, call the repair person. When Suzy's old enough, when she's a teenager, she'll be the designated appliance fixer, because she's a tinkering sim, so they are good to have around. Remember I said earlier how she was quite into like suitors? Here's another one. Oh, I don't know. Well, it decided for me. It's not because I want to like end this already. She is quite late. She's got work in the morning and she has a high interest in work. So I can see her being like, no, I've got work in the morning. And also, it's a late notice. I'm sure, since she's busy mates with the nanny, I'm sure the nanny won't mind coming over to look after them.
Skrark.
Clarence has not yet been exposed to the gesture hang loose phenomenon.
Oh, Lord, really?
I've been kind of neglecting the twins. I swear, when I play, when I'm playing by myself, where I can just totally concentrate on what I'm doing, I'm a lot better. Which is why these sort of family units, while they're very drama-free, for the most part, they're hard to record with because there are more Sims, and Sims who need a lot more attention as well. And it's really hard, trying to talk at the same time. I swear I'm like a better Sim parent. Oh, of course that would happen when I said that, right? My dog is okay. So in the morning I'm just going to have Eve call the repair people up to repair the bathroom, the entire bathroom. But for now I'm just going to take care of their needs, have them wind down for the night and end it here, I guess. This installment, this episode won't be anything like spectacular. They're a pretty chill unit, to be honest. And what is he doing with my puppy? What is he doing? Where is he going? I don't know if maybe I'm just like, I don't know if maybe I'm scarred, but he's taking my puppy. He's taking the puppy. Oh my god. Oh my god. He's He's taken my puppy! Oh my god. I was just about to say I was going to call the police and I was going to pay the fine of, this is an emergency, don't call if there's no emergency, and I was going to be like, this is an emergency, my dog has been stolen. It's always when I'm like, oh, I didn't think this episode would be like anything spectacular. And I was just saying maybe it's because I'm scarred from Craig, and I just don't trust towny men anymore. I thought maybe I'm just like, it's me. I'm just paranoid. But I don't trust him. And I have every reason not to trust him because he just tried dog napping my dog. I thought Craig was going to be the villain of this series, but no. Clarence, you have raised the bar. It's always right when I'm like, okay, my dog, take care of my parents' needs, they're going to go to bed. And I'm going to say the outro. And then they'll pull that attention-seeking stint. He is not allowed back. If anyone brings him home, Suzy, Eve, I don't care who, he is banned. And actually, I'm in such a bad mood that I want to delete him. No, I don't. I'm joking. Well, maybe all respect to him, if you know what I mean. I'm still viewing, and I'm running out of time. I need to say the outro. What do you even say after that? What is there to say? Okay, I'm gonna have Eve come and collect him and take him inside and, keep him safe. PleasantSims, she has a jail, right? She makes a jail, a detention centre. Maybe I need that. Clarence, lock away the key. Yeah, she's even thinking about him, how could he? Eve hasn't even slept, but working. Oh, hey, but her bank deposit account has gained interest of 3,000 simoleons, so who's the winner here, Clarence? I cannot believe that just happened. Yeah, I am leaving it here because I cannot take any more. My blood pressure is just through the roof. I need to calm down. So I need to stop recording. End it here. I can't believe I was just saying this was kind of a chill introductory to the Pleasant family, and then Clarence just thinks it's okay to steal my dog. Anyway, thank you for watching. I hope you enjoyed. With nothing more to say, and hopefully no more shenanigans for tonight, I am going to say the official outro. Oh, and also remind you that, I've put stuff on my blog, just, their personality and maybe a recap of their rounds, their story. So that will be in the description, as will, family trees, they'll be in the description. Gonna make it official, so please remember to stay safe, be good, and most of all, happy simming. Thank you all so much. I'll hopefully see you again next time when we have maybe 2 or 3 birthdays, and hopefully no more dog napping. Yeah, see you next time. Yeah. Bye.